Okay, back for the 17:30 turn, or 5:30 p.m. turn. German Italians still looking to get off the board. The British looking to stop them. So let's say our initiative now, base 3 for the German Italians, 0 for the British. So let's see what our initiative looks like. So 3 plus 1 is 4. They get a 5. 5 to 4 in favor of the British. So British actually get the first move this turn. Interesting. That is a little bit of a twist. So, what do the British do with it, though? I don't have much. They could go after these guys or the tanks. Thinking they go after the tanks. So it would be 4, 6, 7. He won't participate. He's disrupted. So 4, 6, 7 with a leader. That's not great. That puts him on the 9 column. Whereas the Germans will be on the 6, 7, because they're quartered, plus 4. They'll be on the 11 column. So they'll both be on the 9 column. Actually, that's not too bad for the British. So British will go without. They're going to do this melee over here, number 3. So they're on the 9 column. They roll a 6. Morale check for the tanks. The tanks, same thing. They're 6, 7, 11. No shifts. Oh, they get a 10. M1. Okay, so M for the tanks, M1 for the British units. So the tanks with an M, we'll start left to right here. The Panzer E, they're 8. 8 or less, they're fine. Demoralized guy, he is 7, 6, so 6 or less. Roll a 7. That means that they don't fail, they just stay where they are. Next one, the other tank, he's an 8, so I'll need an 8 or less. Oh, he demoralizes. That's not good. Okay, on the British, that's plus 1. Excuse me. So the leader is a 10 with a plus 1. It's okay. The full strength infantry there, he is an 8 with a plus 1. Ooh, 10, he's demoralized. The heavy machine gun, they are 8 with a plus 1. They're okay. Well, again, kind of mixed results. Both sides demoralized, both sides has units demoralized, but nothing concrete losses. So, over to the Italian side. So, what do we do? What do we do? I think we go over here with the Tenente first. Activate his unit, recover, or to move the units next door to move as well. The moving units will go 2, 4, 6, 8 to there. And then he is, what's he going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Moves up to there, that's not close enough. So he's going to have to move himself to there. And hopefully this guy will do it on his own. So he's a 7, he needs a 6. You got it. Got it. See the Tenente scampering away. Got him back in good order. Okay, over to the British again. Getting a little bit desperate for the British. Not much they can do to stop them. Can try to rack up casualty points, I think. 2, 6, 7 plus 1. Oh, plus 2. He's got a skill. Okay. That would be 9 leader. Yeah, I think they got to rack up points with the melee. So the British leader over here is going to activate to assault fire. So the British have 4, 5, and then halved here makes 7. So they start on the 5 with a leader. Forgot last turn, but the leader does get a skill bonus for rural assaults. So he's actually on the 13 column. And they roll a 7. They miss, completely miss. Oh, that's not good. The Germans, or the Italians coming back, they are 3, 9. They're on the 9 column with a leader. Puts them on the 13 as well. They roll a 4. Oh, they get the hit. Oh, they get the hit. So I think we're gonna, oh, that's gonna be on the best morale. So this guy's gonna take the hit, which is another casualty. And then an M2 for everybody else. So the leader is 9 plus 2. That's 10, so he's disrupted. He's going to lose some skill points for that. But he can still help out. The reduced infantry is 7, plus the leader is 8, plus 2 on the dice. 9, so he is disrupted. Oh, this is not going well for the British. And then the last one, they are 7, plus 1 for leaders 8, plus 2 on the dice. Demoralized. Oh, that was very bad. Now, leader loss. 2 or 3. No leader loss. So he survived that, but ooh. Actually, I think he has a skill to help him too, but it was not a big deal. So they did not make out well. Now the leader actually loses a couple points because he disrupted there, so he loses 1, 2 points. Okay. On to the German-Italian. Third turn, what to do. Alright, I think I've got to do this one. These 2 tanks are going to activate. Yeah, they can't combine their fire because they're in separate hexes. What are they going to do? Move or fire? Well, I think I'll have him fire. He probably will not have any effect. He'll move, so he'll go for 6 and off board. So there's another unit off, but he is useful because he will count 2 steps, but twice the amount. So he'll be 4 points. So they've now got 5 points off board. This guy's going to fire. He's an 11. Close range is going to be plus 2 shift. Puts him on the 22 column. Rolls a 9, 22. It's an M1 on that. So they are reduced. So they're 7 with a plus 1 on the dice. They're okay. All right. No, it's okay. Next turn for the British. I think they're going to try to get him going here. We need something to tie these guys up. So he's going to try to recover him. So he's an 8, plus 1 is 9. He's an 8 or less. You got it. So that's good. And that leader gets a point. So that's Lieutenant Brown. Yeah, he needs some points. He needs some points. Alright, so he gets 1 point for that. And they're done. Alright, over to the Italians. I think we got to try to rally those guys. Again, there's a reduced unit. He's 7, needs a 6 or less. doesn't get it. Next one, he's an 8, needs a 7 or less. That's going to do it. He's in good shape. Okay, that's the armored car. So he'll most likely get off the board next turn. Alright, we're into our fog of war rolls. Ooh, awful close. Next, over to the British. What to do. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I had the infantry over here. Yep, I messed that one up. Well, maybe next turn. I can shift those around. And maybe not. He's disrupted. Well, actually, which way is it going to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Could come over there. Let's try rallying him first. So he's a 7. He'll need a 6 or less. You got it. Okay. So he's in good shape. And we'll do a quick fog of war. Now, back to the Italians. So I think the Italians are going to take this hex. Leader's going to activate to move. Truck will try to recover. Leader's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him moving again. And the truck needs a 6 or less. I got a 6. So he's in good shape for whatever that's worth at this point. Fog of war. No. Back over to the British. Now, British have another demoralized unit that they need to recover in this assault hex. So this guy, he is a 7 because he's reduced. Demoralized 6, needs a 5 or less. Doesn't get it. He will have to come out of there, and he's going to go over into. Oh, wait a minute. He can't go there because that's German. He's got to go here and stop. Right, yeah, that's his only movement. No, because he's here. You could go here or here. This is a better location. Okay. Fog of war. Yeah, no fog. Back to the Italians. They're probably going to need to try to recover these guys. So all these guys. We'll start with the Panzer 4E. He's an 8, needs a 7. Yeah, he's back. Good. The other ones, he's a 7. 6 demoralized, needs a 5 or better. Doesn't get it, so he'll have to flee. He's going to have to go here. Yeah, because he's demoralized here. He's not. Actually, you could go either one, but that's probably better spot. The other unit, he is an 8. Demoralized 7, needs a 6 or better. Less. Gets a 6, so he's staying in the fight. That's good. And fog of war. No fog. Next, over to the British again. Oh, we've got a demoralized unit here that we should take care of. Try to. He is a 7, demoralized 6, needs a 5 or yeah, doesn't get it. I think he's pretty much out of the match. Back over to the Italians. They're going to try this melee. This would be 6, 9 plus the leader. Okay, so he's on the 9 column, pushed to the 13 with the leader, I think he says. He's 7, yeah. He's demoralized 6. Yeah, okay. A 9 pushed to the 13 because of the leader. So let's see what they got. 9. M2. Okay. Now for the British, we've got disrupted. He's 1. He's 1, so 2. 3 for the leader. 3. Leader makes 3. And then shifted up 1 for the leader and his special ability. So actually on 9. Rolls a 7 again. Can't get anything. So we've got an M2 on the British. So the leader is a 9 with a +2 on the dice. No, nothing. But he can still help. So he will be 7. Leader helps 8 with a +2 on the dice. He's okay. Last one here, he's demoralized. So he will be 7, demoralized 6. Leader helps 7, +2 on the dice. 8. Yep, nothing happens. He's okay. So that wound up no effect. Everybody just stuck in there. Okay. Fog of War. No fog. British. Not much for the British. We do have him. I think he's going to come forward to help him. Nobody can really see him to shoot at him, so yeah, these guys are all demoralized. Yep. Fog of War. Next, Italians. Italians. Oh, wait a minute, this guy needs a counter. I think he's going to try to help get these guys going and himself. So they can activate the move. Their recoveries. So he's a 8. Needs a 7 or better. Yeah, doesn't get it. Luckily got it this time when he was demoralized. He can help though. So these guys now, their 7 + 1 is 8. Needs a 7 or better. Yeah, he's actually recovered. Next, the demoralized guy. He is 7, demoralized 6, helped 7. Needs a 6 or better. He's disrupted. And lastly, the trucks. 7, demoralized 6, helped 7, needs a 6 or better. Doesn't get it. Okay. Well, that's where we are with them. So, Fog of War. 15. Over to the British. Yeah, the British, they can't shoot at them. They could actually move around a little bit if they wanted to. They can't go into the melee hex, so it would require command. But seeing as nobody can shoot at them with direct fire, they could, well, they really can't move past here because that's the extent of where the commander is. So they could move this way, move that way. They could come down here. That would help to kind of get the this guy away if he fails to recover. Alright, so they're going to go 1, 2 to there. That's all they can do. Wait a minute, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, good. So they can do that. Fog of War. No fog. Over to the Italians. Italians. I think it's got to be this unit. He's going to activate the move. Activate these guys to try to recover. Let's try the recovery first. They're a 7. Demoralized 6 needs a 5 or better. Don't get it. So now they've got to move. So they got to go 1. Actually, they only need to move to there because he's down below. So they just need to move to there. And he can move now. But where does he move? So he doesn't want to be shot up by these guys. You can go 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, he'll go way over here. Try to get away from him. Not sure if it'll work. Fog of war. No fog. Back to the British, which I think they're going to pass. And then looking at the Italians, they will pass as well. I do have the artillery. Let's take the flag. British 14. No. Artillery. Yeah, these guys are there. So actually, the artillery is going to shoot at them. So it's going to be 21. No shifts. Spotted by our leaders over here. So on the 21 column, right there, rolls a 7. That's a miss. Alright. I think that'll do it, but we'll do one more fog of war for the Italians. Yeah, nothing. And the British are going to pass, and the Italians are going to pass. Alright, so that's it. 1730 complete. Well, again, very little interesting action at the moment. Biggest thing is the Italians are slowly moving pieces off the board. They did get one tank, that's 4 points. Now they've got a total of 5 points. Another 5, that'll wipe out the British victory points for keeping units off the board. But we'll see what can happen. So with that, we'll just get these counters off and we will be good for the final turn. So we'll be back with that shortly. Okay, final turn, 17:45, 5:45 p.m. Apologies for the last video here at 7:30. At one point I must have knocked into the camera up here, and it was off to the side, so you may not have seen everything. Hopefully you got my commentary at least on there. So anyways, I didn't miss too much. There was just some more movement over here, which I think you probably saw before I knocked the camera. Our units going off, a few units meleeing, a few units recovering. Not a lot of action, but we will move on to the last turn. So this is the big one. Couple points to note on this. The Italians just need 5 more points to cancel out the British victory points for keeping them off the board, which I think they can get, particularly with this tank and some of this infantry over here, as well as more points if they get more of these units off. British desperately trying to get something, but it's going to be tough because these guys are disrupted and demoralized. Same thing up here, trying to get some more points to stay in the game. At this point, I think for the British, it's just a matter of the leaders trying to get some leadership points. I'm pretty confident it's going to go for the Italians, but we'll play it out. From the standpoint of the losses, 7 for the German-Italian, 15 for the British. So definitely there's an advantage there for the Italians as we're going along here. So anyways, let's play this out. Last turn initiative, base 3 for the German and Italians, 0 for the British. So we've got 4 plus 3 is 7, and then 3, so 7 minus 3 is 4, halved is 2. So back to 2 activations for the Italians and Germans. Well, I think we just got to get these units off just to be safe and secure, and everything else will just be either holding off or doing whatever we need. So we're going to activate the captain, activates the tenente, all the units around there are going to move. So these units are going to go 2 and then 4 off the board. So that gives us heavy machine gun, infantry, What else we got here? Another infantry off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps that just came off. Plus we had 5. That's 11. That's going to cancel the British. So there's 11 points for the Italians. It cancels out the British. We'll go with these units. They will go 2, 4, 6 off the board. And again, this is going to be some more Italian infantry, heavy machine guns. So we've got about a company of units off the boards, plus some armor. Now we'll get a leader. The Tenente will go with them as well. Now with these guys, this is going to be a little bit trickier because these guys can actually shoot. I couldn't get the other guys who got off because they were too far away, but if they load up, that's going to be 1.357, so they won't make it off, even if they load up. But if they move, they can go 1 to there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now they can take a shot. So they're going to take a shot. It's a very, very long shot here. It's 4 strength points, moving of course, so it's opportunity fire, but it's a long range, so that cancels it out. So it'll be just on the 4 column, right here. 7. That's a miss. Right. So they go 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then the trucks will follow suit up to there. So they did not get off the board. They're right on the edge, so they won't count. And then the captain, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He'll go with them. So the captain does get off. He would get off theoretically on the next turn, but there is no next turn. So that's all the movement. So big move for the Italians to get some points. They've got 1 more activation to go. Yeah, I think they've got to go with a tank as well. Just trying to get as many points as possible at this point. So they're going to go 2, 4, and off. There's another 4 points with another tank platoon. So that gets that off. And that's the end of their 2 activations. Over to the British. Now it's a face-saving exercise for the British. Trying to hold as much, get as much points as possible, if at all. Not sure what they can do here. He's okay, but he's demoralized, and that's not going to be good. Well, British can't do much, but I'll play it through. Let's try to get some leadership points for this guy. They're going to try to recover. He's going to try to recover. He's a 9. Down to 8 or less to recover. Yeah, he recovers. That's good. He's going to try to help next door. There are 7. He helps him to an 8. 7. 8. Yeah, okay, so he gets 2 points. Gets a point for that. Helping to recover. Yeah. And then the demoralized one, he is 7. Demoralized 6. Help 7. So he needs a 6 or less. Doesn't get it. So he's got to leave the hex. He's going to go back up here. So it's just those 2 units in there. Oh, it's a little dangerous, and he can't get any more friends in there. So they're on their own. Interesting for the Italians. Do they want to go after him now? There's a good chance they can get points. 2, 3. Leader. There's a 9. Yeah, they'll try it. They'll try it. They're going to go after him, seeing as the heavy machine guns left. So they will be 9 with a 1 column shift for the leader. Puts him on the 13 for the Italians. 13 for the Italians. Rolls an 8. It's an M1. M1 on the on the British. British coming back at 2-3 right here. Leader and his special ability. So they'll be on the 9 column. Oh, they roll a 12. They score a hit. Wow. Wow, that's big. So it's an M1 on the British, and it's a 1 hit on them. So let's take the British M1. So the leader is a 9 with +1 on the dice. He's okay. The unit is a 7. Helped by the leader is 8. +1 on the dice. Yeah, they make it through. So now the Italians take a hit. It's got to be on the better morale status. It's got to be him. So here's a step. Now they've got to do morale checks. So the leader is a 9 with a +2 on the dice. 10. He is disrupted. He could still help out though. So he'll help the motorcycle first. Motorcycle 7. Help to a 8 +2 on the dice. Oh, he's demoralized. Now the reduced guy is 6. He helps him 7 +2 on the dice. 9, 11. He's demoralized. Oh, wow. This went south for the Italians. All right, plus a leader loss check. This could be hurtful. So 1 loss, so it's 2 or 3. Oh, the major is lost. Ouch. That is very big. Wow, last turn major is lost because he is first off the ranking leader in the scenario, and because he's the ranking leader, there's some special things that happen here. Where is it here? Yes, here it is. If a leader with a rank of major or higher is eliminated, all friendly units in the hex he was stacked with must undergo an immediate morale check. Subtract, do not add the eliminated leader's morale modifier. So he had a 1 for a modifier. So we're going to add that. All these are going to be M1s. So we'll start over here. He's 7, demoralized 6 with a +1 on the dice. Oh, he's demoralized again. So he actually takes a step loss. So there's another point for the British. And this other guy, he's a 6, demoralized 5, +1 on the dice. And 9, he will be demoralized again, so he is lost. Oh, very much cascading now. So they're up to 10 points. Wow. Okay, woof. That was bad. So they're up to 10, so that's another one. They lose one there. It doesn't really matter, but put it on there. So British actually got some points, kind of in a backdoor way, but they did. So it's back over to the British. Figure out what they want to do next. I don't really have much to do. I can't jump in there. He could. He's best staying there to try to stop them from getting off the board. Actually, they're going to try to recover this hex, these hexes. So the leader, 10, needs a 9 together. He gets it. The demoralized, he's an 8, down to 7. He's a 6 or less. No, doesn't get it. So he's going to have to come out of the hex. So he's got to go. He's got to go here with these guys. And the disrupted guy, he's a 8, needs a 7. Doesn't get it. He's okay. Well, that wasn't productive, but not much you could do with that. Okay, on the third turn for the Germans, German and Italians. So I think it's going to be these guys up here, moving. First one's going to try to recover. 7 needs a 6 or less. Doesn't get it, so he stays put. This guy's going to go 2 to there. Now he can shoot at them. He's adjacent. So he's going to be a 4. And let's see, the leader, 13. Let's see, I can't remember if he has anything special to help. Oh, he does have rifle combat, so he's going to get a special ability. So moving doesn't apply because they're armor, but they're adjacent. So it's going to be 4 with 2 column shifts. And then 1 more for the special ability. So on the 11 column, I need basically a 2 or 12. And they get a 7. No, it's not going to work. Okay, so they fired once. And he's going to go 4 there. They're going to fire twice. 2 or 12. Doesn't get it. 6, 8, and then he's off the board. So there's another 2 more points. 2 or 4. I don't know. I'll have to look at that one. He's the armored car, so I'm not sure about that. There's some points there. Last one for the British. Not much to do for the British. Guess just try to rally some guys. Try this rally down here. Demoralized. He's 7, demoralized 6. Helped. So an 8 needs a 7 or so. You got it. So he's back in there. And that's it. Fog of War. Pretty much coming down to the end. I think this is going to be an Italian victory, but that last little melee really was interesting. Back to the Italians. Italians and Germans. What do we got here? We've got 4-15 versus 4-5 and a leader. All right, they'll do it. The tanks will activate to continue the melee. They will be 11 plus 4 is 15, so they'll be on the 13 column. Roll a 6, M1. Not bad. It's not going to get any casualties, but the British, they are 4, 8, halved 4, 5. So we're on the 5 column, plus a leader. Puts them on the 9 column. And they roll a 7. So they missed. So it's an M1 on the British. So let's see what we can do here. M1 on the British. British are 10. Leader is 10 plus 1. He's okay. The unit here is 8 with a plus 1 on the dice. He's okay. Oop, hit that wire again. Check the camera. Yeah, we're okay. Alright, so unfortunately that was a miss all around for the Germans. We'll do a fog. No fog. Or the Italians. Or German. The Germans, Italians, British. Well, they'll try a very long shot. So these two together is 6. Let's see. Do I want to do those together or separately? Yeah, I think I'll fire them separately. A little cheap shot here. Firing at the truck, a loaded truck. But he's at long range. So those will cancel each other out. Loaded truck is plus 1. Long range is minus 1. So first, we're going to fire the reduced. He's a 2. That's a miss. Second one is a 4 on the 4 column. And that's a miss. So that was an outside chance of getting anything interesting. With that one, over to the Italians. I think this guy will try to recover to get some points. Try to recover himself. He is an 8, needs a 7 or better. Doesn't get it. He'll activate to go. No, he'll just stay there. He doesn't need to recover. He will try to recover. Oops. He'll be an 8. Excuse me, 7. Plus 1 is 8. 7 or better. He does. And the leader gets a point. And then the truck. He's a 7. Reduces 6. Leader 7. Needs a 6 or better. Doesn't get it. So this guy got another point, which is always a help. He didn't get himself going, but oh well, that's okay. He got a leadership point, so minus let me see here. This one. Okay, and fog of war. No fog of war. Over to the British. British don't have much, if anything. Oh, we've got our demoralized leader up here we've got to take care of. He's 7, reduces 6, 5 together. Doesn't get it. Yeah, he's done. And then fog of war. That's it, fog of war. That ends it right there. So here we have it. Game is finished. The end of turn. 5:45, 17:45. Here's where we stand with everything. Let me take off all this, all this, and kind of do a wrap up here on this last one. Give you the points. Well, let's see. First, we'll start off with losses. So the German Italians lost 10. Okay, so they've got British get 10 points. Italians get 15 points for the losses of the British. So slight advantage for the British. Taking a look at other things here, going for the British first. So we've got 10 points if at least one road track is occupied by at least one undemoralized British unit at the end of play. Actually, looking at this, they're not. So they don't get the 10 points here because there's no British units on this road. I should have looked for that. Okay, that's big. And then 10 points if fewer than 10 Italian German steps exit the board edge at the end of play. But no, they've got more. We already know that over here with everything. So they just have the 10 points for that. So already the Italians have a victory with the 15 points for the losses, but looking at the other stuff the Italians get, 1 point for each Italian and German step that exits anywhere off the each edge of the board. Tanks count double, trucks don't count. So tanks count double. So these two, that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8 right there. Armor cars 9, 10, 11, and then there's 4 more points there is 15, and then 6 more points there is 21. Adding that with our 15 is 36 points. And then, surprisingly, they get 15 points if all road hexes, not track hexes, are free of undemoralized British units at the end of play, which it is. Okay, it's still under British control, but it's free of them, so they'll get another 15 points. So that's going to be 36, 46, 51, 51 to 10 for the British. I'll just show you the victory conditions here if you want to see it. So it was 51-10. So this is an Italian win, 51-10 for the Italians. Now, looking at this and saying, well, how'd they do? They've got about a company or so mix of German-Italian units off the board, off the edge. Can do some damage going on there. There's good amounts still on the board here. German tanks fighting it out over here. There was some German losses. Their artillery and stuff over here still fighting. The British, though, are in pretty tough sets. They lost all their heavy weapons. They do have a few units, but they are reduced. They took the worst of it. Definitely at this point, they're probably looking to regroup and retire, and the Italians will be able to move up. So it's a bit of a slugfest, but the German Italians made it through the help of the tanks. As we saw, the Italians were very brittle when it comes to their morale and doing things with it. So it was kind of a tough slog there with it. But I think a fun scenario overall. Good one. Don't really see anything out of whack with it. And we'll move along from there. In terms of our overall look at how our campaign is going, British are still in a good lead because they've won everything up until this point. Right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins for the British. Now we've got 1 for the Italians. So the British are in command overall. For our leaders, we still see Wright. He accumulated 10 points, 10 leadership points. That'll help him with skills and potentially promotion. I think we'll try with promotion there. Lieutenant White, he was lightly wounded. Went out of the game early. He'll be back for the next one with a little bit of recovery. Roberts, he's him over here. Not a great performance. He disrupted and demoralized a couple times to brought him down. Didn't really get a lot of good action to get in there. So he's at a -4. That'll put him at a -3 overall. And then for our Italian folks, we have Tenente Colombo. He got 1 point out of this. Tenente Greco, I believe a couple of these. Sorry, let me just look back at my sheets. Colombo. Oh yeah, Bruno, the next one over there. He kind of fled the field. So he's going to be arrested and imprisoned. And looking at, is it Greco? Where is he here? Sorry. Oh, here he is. Yeah, he not very impressive. Oh, he stuck back with the artillery. That's right. He was commanding the artillery back here, so he didn't get a whole lot of action. So he's still on the negative there as well with 7. So going into Trebuk again for the next one. It's an Australian scenario. We'll have a new Italian coming on board, Tenente. We may have Lieutenant Wright promoted. I'm going to have to see for that. I'll fill you in on the next startup of that video and kind of go from there. So, hope you enjoyed this playthrough and all the videos for this, and look to see you again. Thanks a lot.